The February 1st full moon isn't here to be quiet. At 13 degrees Leo, peaking at 5:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this lunation puts a spotlight on the part of you that's been holding back your voice, your truth, and your right to take up space. This isn't about performing or chasing validation. It's about reclaiming the parts of you that learned it was safer to stay small. This Leo full moon is making a rare and powerful opposition to a cluster of planets currently in Aquarius. And it's making a trine to Chiron currently in Aries. This is a moment of emotional release, self recognition, and choosing to lead with what's real without apology. So find your rising sign and let's dive into what this Leo full moon is activating for you.
Aries rising. So, this Leo full moon is illuminating your fifth house of joy, creativity, romance, passion, and self expression. This is the part of you that wants to be seen without explanation. This is about reclaiming pleasure, play, and the unapologetic expression of who you are when you're not trying to earn approval. Something you've been nurturing quietly, such as an idea, a desire, a creative urge, or a version of yourself, is reaching emotional clarity with this full moon. The question this moon is asking is very simple, but confronting. Where have you been dimming your light to stay connected to others? And more importantly, what happens if you stop? This is not performative confidence. This is earned radiance, the kind that comes from choosing yourself. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects an opposition to Pluto, Mars, Venus, and Mercury, all in Aquarius right now, and a trine to Chiron in Aries. Now, this massive conjunction is activating your 11th house of community, belonging, and future vision. Together, they create a powerful gravitational pull that's asking you to examine the role you've been playing in groups, friendships, online spaces, or long term goals. This opposition may feel like tension between your joy and the expectations of others. You may realize you've been editing yourself to stay relevant, agreeable, or included. The collective energy here is exposing where you've outgrown certain communities or where your future is calling you beyond the rooms you've been trying to fit into. So, this full moon can bring a realization that your creativity no longer aligns with a group's vision. It can also bring emotional distance from friendships that may have once felt essential in your life. And also, a desire to step out of the crowd and lead from authenticity instead. Now, this isn't about rejection, it's about redefinition. Your future isn't found by blending in, it's found by letting your happiness be visible enough to attract the right people. Chiron in your first house is forming a supportive trine to this full moon, which is going to be offering deep identity healing for you. So, this is a moment where you can feel how far you've come. So, old wounds around being too much, too intense, or too different are going to soften with this energy. You are no longer proving who you are. You are embodying this energy. So, this trine is helping you to reclaim confidence, not as armor, but as self trust. You are learning that your presence alone is enough. The more you stand in your truth, the more your wounds become wisdom. and your identity becomes medicine. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon energy is first to choose joy without justification. Let yourself pursue what lights you up, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else. Next is to audit your communities. Ask yourself where you feel energized versus drained, inspired versus obligated. Next is to express before you explain. So ensure that you are creating, sharing, and playing without needing permission or validation. And finally, honor the version of you that survived by shrinking and use this full moon to gently release that version. A great affirmation for this Leo full moon is I let my joy lead. I trust my identity. I belong to myself first, and everything else aligns from there. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And be sure to let the algorithm know this hit by giving this video a like, sharing it, hyping it up, and subscribing so you keep getting exactly what you need. And if you're ready to see yourself clearly for the first time, be sure to book a one-on-one with me. One session can shift how you see your entire life. Plus, I have over 10 different session types that you can customize to whatever you're working through. All of my links are below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Taurus rising. So, this full moon is shining a spotlight on your fourth house of home, family, emotional foundations, and inner security. This moon asks, what truly makes you feel safe, seen, and rooted? The fourth house governs the parts of you the world doesn't always see, your private moments, your origin story, your need for belonging. So, this moon could stir up powerful emotions around where or with whom you feel at home and what no longer feels like home at all. You may be realizing that in order to feel truly safe, you have to stop betraying your inner truth to preserve surface level peace. This isn't just about a place, it's about a frequency that feels like softness, warmth, emotional truth, and authenticity. You are not meant to shrink to stay safe. You are meant to build a life that feels like a sanctuary. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: an opposition to Aquarius energy and a trine to Chiron in Aries. So, Pluto, Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury are all conjunct in Aquarius, which is activating your 10th house of career, visibility, legacy, and long term success. This intense cluster of energy may be pushing you to upgrade, rebrand, or reevaluate your public path. But the opposition to this Leo full moon is very clear. If it doesn't align with your soul, it's not sustainable. So, this full moon is inviting you to reflect on whether your career or responsibilities are leaving enough room for your emotional well being. Also, for you to ask where you've been performing strength in public but suppressing vulnerability in private. And another is to reflect on how success might look different now that you're more in tune with your inner world. You are being asked to nurture the foundation that holds your future, not just push toward what looks impressive on the outside. with Chiron in your 12th house forming a gentle trine to this full moon. Deep healing is available in your subconscious and spiritual body. This is a beautiful time to release old programming. So, any ancestral stories, emotional weight, guilt, or shame that's been buried beneath your surface. So, you may feel a quiet but powerful breakthrough of, I don't have to carry any of this anymore. So, this trine does support emotional release, forgiveness, especially self forgiveness, and soul level peace. It is okay to let go of identities that were built in survival mode. Right now, your inner child just wants to be safe to feel, not just function. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon energy is first to prioritize your emotional truth over public expectation. Just because you can hold it all doesn't mean you should. Next is to revisit your definition of home. What people, places, or practices feel nourishing, and what's draining your nervous system? Next is to let softness be sacred. Practice emotional expression without judgment. Cry, journal, rest, and reset. And finally, honor the invisible healing work you've been doing. Just because no one sees it doesn't mean it isn't real or worthy of celebration. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, I am allowed to rest. I choose peace as my power. My inner world is sacred, and I no longer betray myself to stay visible. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, give this video a thumbs up, pass it to your astrology besties, and subscribe for more cosmic truths. And if you're ready to see yourself clearly for the first time, be sure to book a one-on-one with me. One session can shift how you see your entire life. Plus, I have over 10 different types of sessions that you can customize to whatever you're working through. All of my links are below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Gemini rising. So, this full moon is lighting up your third house of voice, thought patterns, communication, and inner narrative. It's shining a spotlight on the way you express your truth, not just what you say, but how you think, share, and interpret your lived experience. Something is coming full circle in the realm of your ideas, your words, or your self concept. A story you've been telling yourself might feel suddenly outdated or suddenly real. This is a chance to reclaim your voice from the parts of you that learn to filter, dilute, or intellectualize your emotions for safety. The moon in Leo wants you to speak with heart, not just cleverness. It wants you to say what you mean and trust that your truth is enough. This is your moment to break the loop of overthinking and reconnect with self expression that feels alive, passionate, and free. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: an opposition to all of the planets in Aquarius and a trine to Chiron in Aries. Now, Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and of course the Sun are all joined together in Aquarius in your ninth house of belief systems, philosophy, higher education, and worldview. This cluster is applying pressure to your old paradigms, especially ones that once made you feel safe, smart, or secure. You may feel internal conflict between what your heart wants to say and what your shoulds still expect. Maybe a voice in your head says, "You can't say that. What will people think?" Or maybe you're outgrowing the very frameworks that once gave your life meaning. This full moon can bring a realization that a belief system you followed no longer fits. It can also bring emotional clarity around your path of study, teaching, or travel. Also, a desire to share your truth, even if it challenges what you've been taught. You are being called to liberate your voice from outdated dogma. What you really believe can't be memorized, it has to be lived. Now, Chiron in Aries is activating your 11th house of friendship, community, and future dreams. And this is forming a supportive trine to this full moon. So, this is a gentle, empowering reminder that you don't need to have it all figured out to be worthy of being heard. Any past wounds around not being understood, excluded from groups, or feeling too weird to belong are ready to soften. Your message doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be yours. This is about being witnessed in your evolution. The people who are meant for you will meet you in the truth you're just now learning how to speak. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon is first to speak your story out loud, even if it still feels messy or unfinished. Next is to revisit a belief or teaching you once followed. Does it still resonate? And if not, release it. Next is to write down the truths you were scared to share. Then ask, what would shift if I said them anyway? And finally, let your voice be a bridge, not a mask. You're here to connect, not perform. A great affirmation for this Leo full moon is, my voice is sacred. I trust what I know, even when it goes against the grain. I speak from the fire of my truth, and it lights the way forward. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss what's next. And if you feel like you're standing at a turning point in your life, a one-on-one with me helps you to understand exactly what's happening and where you're meant to go next. Plus, I offer over 10 different session types so we can zero in on what matters most to you. All of my links are below in the description box, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Cancer rising. So, this Leo full moon is lighting up your second house of self worth, money, values, and inner security. This is the foundation of your life and the way that you value your own presence. It's about the part of you that says, I deserve this. I am enough. My worth is not up for debate. Now, you may feel a wave of clarity around what you truly need, not just materially, but energetically. A job, relationship, or way of earning may no longer feel aligned with your inner sense of value. This moon helps you to recognize where your self-worth has been dependent on external validation and where it's time to remember your value is inherent, not earned. The core invitation of this full moon is, where are you ready to raise your energetic standards? And what does it look like to act from worth and not worry? Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: an opposition to all the planets currently in Aquarius and a trine to Chiron in Aries. Now, the Aquarius stellium, which includes Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and of course the Sun, are all activating your eighth house of energetic bonds, emotional debts, shared resources, and soul level transformation. This is a house of intensity and intimacy, but also of power dynamics, where your value has been tied to what others give you, owe you, or take from you. So, this opposition may highlight financial entanglements that no longer feel fair, emotional codependency or energetic exchanges that feel draining, or deep realizations about where you've overgiven to prove your worth. This full moon wants to liberate you from old contracts, both financial and emotional. It's not about proving you're valuable. It's about remembering that you always were. Your worth is not transactional. Your power is not dependent on anyone's permission. Now, Chiron in your 10th house is forming a healing trine to this full moon. And this is offering soul level insight into your visibility, authority, and legacy. You're beginning to see how much your success has been shaped by past wounds and how you've learned to perform competence to avoid criticism. But now, a deeper alignment is forming. You're learning that true success starts with self respect. So, this trine is empowering you to release imposter syndrome that whispers that you're not enough, reclaim your voice in public or professional spaces, as well as to build your legacy from a place of healed identity, not performative perfection. Let your worth be your compass, not your productivity. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this energy is first to reclaim your money story. Journal about what you were taught to value and what you actually value now. Next is to cut energetic cords to old agreements. Ask yourself, where have you been paying with your peace or energy? Next is to embody the worth you desire to be paid for. So dress, speak, and act as if you already believe in your value. And finally, say no where you once said yes. Each boundary you set is a love letter to your healed self-worth. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, my worth is not up for negotiation. I release scarcity, reclaim my power, and walk in the energy of already deserving. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you're tired of guessing and ready for real clarity, book a one-on-one with me. One session will change how you see yourself forever. Plus, I offer over 10 different session styles to match exactly what you need. All of my links are located in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Leo. So, of course, this is your full moon. This is a spotlight moment and a sacred mirror. With the full moon landing in your first house of identity, embodiment, and self expression, you're being called to reconnect with you, not the version of you that's been curated, tolerated, or diluted, but the real radiant you that exists underneath all the roles you've been playing. This is the version of you that glows without effort, that doesn't need to explain themselves, that knows they are magnetic just by existing. This lunation may bring emotional clarity around how you've outgrown an old identity or how you've been hiding behind personas that feel safe but no longer feel true. Let yourself be seen, not as who you've had to be, but who you are now. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: an opposition to all of the planets currently in Aquarius and a trine to Chiron in Aries. Now, the massive Aquarius cluster of Pluto, Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury are sitting directly opposite this full moon in your seventh house of partnership, reflection, and contracts. Together, they activate a complete recalibration of how you relate to others and how that has shaped the way you see yourself. So, this opposition energy may confront relationships where you've compromised your authenticity to keep the peace, dynamics that mirror back insecurity and not empowerment, as well as any outdated contracts, spoken or unspoken, that no longer honor your evolution. This opposition invites you to reclaim your mirror. The way others treat you is not your definition, it's your reflection. And when your reflection no longer matches your inner truth, it's time to choose alignment over attachment. You are not here to shrink in love. You're here to be met as your whole self. Now, Chiron in Aries in your ninth house is making a trine to this full moon. And this is offering expansive, soul level healing around your beliefs, vision, and truth. It's helping you remember that you don't need to know everything or prove yourself in order to be valid. You are healing the belief that your path has to make sense to everyone before you walk it. You are finally free to walk in your truth, even if others don't understand it yet. This trine is whispering that your truth is your liberation. Your path does not need permission, and your becoming is the blueprint. So let your growth be loud and let your reinvention be seen. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon is first, reintroduce yourself. Write out who you are now and who you're no longer pretending to be. Next is to reevaluate your relationships. Who reflects your expansion and who triggers your shrinking? Next is to declare your new era. Don't wait for others to validate it. Live it out loud. And finally, speak your truth, even when your voice shakes. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, I am the main character of my life. I no longer shrink to be chosen. I shine as the truth of who I am. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you need to remember that you are the prize, be sure to grab my Venus Activation Prompt Journal. It's designed to rewire how you love yourself and what you expect in relationships. All of my links and offerings are listed in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Virgo rising. So, this is not a public moon for you, it's a private reckoning. The full moon in your 12th house is illuminating everything you've hidden from the world and even from yourself. You may feel more emotionally tender, more porous, or more reflective. Old wounds, unspoken fears, buried dreams, this full moon pulls them into the light, not to overwhelm you, but to free you. This is your soul's detox, a quiet, radiant release of the invisible burdens you've been carrying for too long. Don't rush to make sense of it. Just let it move. Let the tears come and let the insights land. Let your subconscious speak. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: an opposition to all of the planets currently in Aquarius, and a trine to Chiron in Aries. So, across from the moon, we have an Aquarius stellium of Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and of course the Sun, activating your sixth house of health, work, habits, and energetic hygiene. The message is very clear. Your nervous system cannot sustain your old life anymore. This opposition is revealing what has been draining you day after day. How your body has been absorbing the pressure of your productivity patterns, and where you're due for an upgrade in the way you serve without self-sacrifice. The 12th house moon says retreat, restore, surrender. The 6th house cluster says rebuild, restructure, and revolutionize. Together, they're asking you to prioritize the systems that hold you, not the ones that deplete you. Your burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a boundary asking to be respected. Now, Chiron in your 8th house is forming a supportive trine, which is inviting you to heal hidden pain around powerlessness, loss, and emotional entanglements. You are learning how to process your emotions without intellectualizing them. This trine is here to alchemize any shame that you've kept hidden, any fears that you've pushed down, and any trauma you've survived. The healing is subtle but extremely profound. It may not be visible to others, but you will feel it in your body, in your boundaries, and in your breath. You are not broken. You are breaking free. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this full moon energy is first to rest and release. Create intentional space for solitude, sleep, and reflection. Next is to cleanse your daily habits. Purify your routines from obligation, guilt, or resentment. Next is to let your body lead. Listen to what it's been trying to tell you for months. And finally, grieve what's ending, especially the parts of you that once kept you safe. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, I no longer carry what I was never meant to hold. I honor my energy, I heal in softness, and I rise from surrender. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, hit that like button, hype this video, send this to someone who needs it, and subscribe so you never miss what's next. And if you're ready to reconnect with who you were before the world told you who to be, my As Above, So Within astrology journal will help bring you back to yourself. All of my offering links are in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Libra rising. So, this full moon is lighting up your 11th house, which is the realm of vision, belonging, and the future you're meant to lead. This is a moment of release and realization around the dreams you've outgrown, the communities that no longer reflect your truth, and the roles you've played to be accepted. There's a version of you who built connection through performance, but this full moon is calling you to deeper authenticity, to shine in your full truth, not just for approval, but for purpose. Something big you once hoped for might fall away. That's not failure. It's divine redirection, a sacred pruning of the paths no longer aligned with your highest timeline. You are not here to fit in. You're here to magnetize what reflects your soul. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: an opposition to the cluster of planets currently in Aquarius, and a trine to Chiron in Aries. So, opposite this Leo full moon is a rare Aquarius stellium involving Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun, all activating your fifth house of self expression, confidence, and creative risk. Together, these energies are confronting you with one question: what parts of your magic have you been hiding to keep the peace? This is a deeply personal revolution. It's about letting go of performance and stepping into power. Pluto is clearing shame around being too much or not enough. Mars is reawakening your desire to create just for the joy of it. Venus is realigning you with self-worth and soul resonance. And Mercury is reprogramming the stories you tell yourself about being seen. Now, this isn't just about creating art. It's about reclaiming authorship over your life. Let go of the audience and focus on the alignment. Now, with Chiron and Aries trining this full moon from your seventh house, healing comes through relationship, but not through merging. You are learning to hold your own light, even in connection. You're dissolving wounds around needing approval to feel safe, lovable, or chosen. You're becoming the version of yourself who doesn't abandon your truth to keep the peace. Someone who doesn't dim their voice to stay liked. And also someone who doesn't settle for love that cost you your joy. This trine is bringing you back to you, the radiant, sovereign you that relationships are meant to complement, not complete. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon energy is first to create without censoring. Let your voice, art, and ideas come through raw and unfiltered. You don't need to package your magic to make it palatable. Just start expressing. Your radiance is already enough. Next is to audit your communities. Ask where you feel seen for who you truly are, not just tolerated or useful. Some circles celebrate your shine. Others expect you to dim it. It's time to tell the difference. Next is to let joy lead the way. Don't second guess the things that light you up. Even if they seem frivolous or unexpected, they are not distractions. They are breadcrumbs from your higher self. Follow them. And finally, thank the version of you that performed to belong. They kept you safe, but this full moon is calling in a new chapter, one where your authenticity is your permission slip, and your presence is the proof you belong. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, I don't need to perform to be chosen. My truth is magnetic. My light belongs to me. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And be sure to let the algorithm know this was a hit by liking this video, hyping this video, sharing it, and subscribing so you keep getting exactly what you need. And if you need to remember that you are the prize, be sure to grab my Venus Activation Journal. It's designed to rewire how you love yourself and what you expect in relationships. All of my offering links are in the description box below, so be sure to check. Scorpio rising. So, this full moon is activating your 10th house, which is the domain of career, legacy, reputation, and public visibility. You've been walking a powerful line between who you are and who the world expects you to be. And now the mask is cracking. You're realizing that true success isn't about perfection, it's about alignment. This full moon is a spotlight moment, a karmic checkpoint in your professional evolution, but it's also a release of pressure, of people pleasing, and of false identities built to survive rather than thrive. Let yourself shed the version of you who climbed just to prove you could. The world is ready for your real authority, the kind that's born from healing and not control, the kind that doesn't ask for permission to be powerful. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects. In opposition to all the planets currently in Aquarius, and a trine to Chiron in Aries. So, opposing this full moon is a rare Aquarius stellium, which involves Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and the Sun, all in your fourth house of home, roots, and emotional security. This opposition is striking a sacred chord between external visibility and internal safety. You're being asked, can you hold your power in public without losing your peace in private? This planetary alignment wants to upgrade your foundations. Pluto is dissolving generational shame around visibility and success. Mars is energizing your right to protect your peace and fight for inner belonging. Venus is healing the way you receive support at home and within yourself. And Mercury is rewriting the inner narrative of worthiness and emotional safety. Your public life can no longer be built on emotional suppression. This full moon is your permission slip to succeed without sacrificing your softness. Now, Chiron in Aries is trining this full moon from your 6th house. And this is a reminder that healing is in the daily devotion to your truth. This trine is offering medicine in the mundane. So, this is those tiny, consistent choices that align your body, work, and wellness with who you're becoming. You're clearing old programming that says, you must hustle to be worthy. You have to abandon your body to meet expectations, and that you're only safe if you're overperforming. This full moon brings a sacred rebalancing. You don't need to earn your worth through labor anymore. You are already enough. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon energy is first to lead without performing. Your authority is rooted in presence, not perfection. You don't need to prove yourself to be powerful. Just be. Next is to redefine what home feels like. Ask where you're still carrying someone else's version of safety. Let your nervous system become your compass. Next is to stay grounded in the micro moments. Healing happens in the way you breathe, nourish, rest, and reset. These aren't distractions from your purpose. They are your purpose. And finally, honor the version of you that succeeded by suppressing. That version of you helped you to survive, but you're here to thrive now. And that requires softness, not just strength. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, my power is safe to be seen. I don't need to shrink to stay grounded. My success expands from the inside out. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, give this video a thumbs up, pass it on to your astrology besties, hype this video, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you're ready to see yourself clearly for the first time, be sure to book a one-on-one with me. One session can shift how you see your entire life. Plus, I have over 10 different session types so you can customize to whatever you're currently working through. All of my offering links are in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Sagittarius rising. So this full moon rises in your ninth house of expansion, truth, and spiritual alignment. This is illuminating what you've outgrown in your worldview, belief systems, or life trajectory. It's a moment of release and revelation. The version of truth you've been living may no longer reflect your current frequency. You're shedding borrowed philosophies, outdated dreams, and even geographic or educational paths that once felt like the way. You're being guided toward your soul's higher curriculum. So you may find yourself questioning a spiritual teacher, a belief you inherited, or a path you once called the plan. But this isn't disillusionment. It's divine redirection. A reminder that your growth doesn't come from knowing everything, but from being brave enough to ask deeper questions. This full moon wants you to stop seeking the road that looks right and start listening for the one that feels true. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: an opposition to all of the planets currently in Aquarius and a trine to Chiron in Aries. So opposing this Leo full moon is the potent Aquarius stellium that includes Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and of course the Sun, all lighting up your third house of communication, learning, and mental narratives. This is a full body reset of the way that you think, speak, and share your ideas. The question at the heart of this opposition is, what beliefs are you still repeating that were never truly yours? This is a mental detox, a rewiring, an invitation to step into intellectual and spiritual sovereignty. Pluto is excavating the fears that kept you silent or over-explaining. Mars is reigniting passion for your voice, your message, or your story. Venus is helping you reclaim your worth as a thinker, teacher, and messenger. And Mercury is rewriting the inner dialogue that once kept you safe, but now keeps you small. Your words create worlds. This opposition is reminding you to choose them with intention and to let your curiosity lead. Now, with Chiron and Aries trining this full moon from your fifth house, healing comes from unfiltered self-expression. Not perfection, just presence. This is about the joy of sharing your light without fear of how it lands. You are dissolving old stories that said your joy was naive, your creativity frivolous, or your passion too loud. And now you're reclaiming your right to play, to express, and to follow what excites your soul. This trine opens a channel between divine purpose and everyday pleasure. Your art, your humor, and your weirdness, all of it belongs and all of it teaches others. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon energy is first to question everything, even your own beliefs. Not from fear, but from power. Ask if your ideas still match the version of you you're becoming. Let truth evolve with you. Next is to write it down and speak it out loud. Use your voice through journaling, sharing, or teaching as a tool for self-remembrance. Your words are part of your awakening. Next is to follow what fascinates you. The subjects, ideas, or rabbit holes you can't stop thinking about are clues to your next path. Let learning be intuitive, not linear. And finally, celebrate your joy like it's sacred, because it is. Every time you choose happiness over proving, play over performance, or curiosity over control, you are aligning with your higher self. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, my joy is not a distraction. It's divine direction. I follow the fire within. I trust where it leads. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, hit that like button, hype this video, send it to someone who needs it, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And if this video hit, that's your sign to book a one-on-one with me. One session can shift your entire relationship with yourself. And you can choose from over 10 personalized session types. All of my offering links are in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Capricorn rising. So this full moon lands in your 8th house of transformation, intimacy, shared energy, and soul contracts. It's not here to coddle you. It's here to liberate you from the emotional and energetic debts you've been quietly carrying. This is your moment to stop sacrificing your power just to keep the peace. To stop binding yourself to people, patterns, or survival strategies that once felt safe, but now feel suffocating. The Leo full moon exposes the unconscious exchanges in your life, the places where you're giving too much, hiding too much, or clinging to pain that once protected you. You're being called to reclaim the parts of you buried under loyalty, fear, or shame. The deeper you go, the more radiant you become. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: an opposition to all of the planets currently in Aquarius, and a trine to Chiron in Aries. So, directly opposing this moon is a massive Aquarius stellium, which includes Pluto, Mars, Venus, the Sun, and Mercury, all activating your second house of self worth, money, values, and energetic magnetism. This lineup is like a cosmic reprogramming of what you believe you deserve financially, emotionally, and energetically. It's not just about how you earn, it's about how you value your presence in the world. Pluto is dismantling scarcity mindsets that are rooted in fear, control, or dependence. Mars is reigniting your will to claim what's yours, especially when it comes to money or confidence. Venus is guiding you to see your desires as divine instructions, not indulgences. And Mercury is reworking your inner dialogue so that your thoughts align with abundance, not anxiety. This opposition is asking, what if it's safe to feel powerful? What if receiving doesn't mean losing yourself? Now, Chiron in Aries is offering a tender but powerful trine to this full moon from your fourth house of emotional roots, family dynamics, and inner safety. This is deep ancestral and emotional healing. The version of you that had to toughen up early or make your pain productive is being lovingly unraveled. You're learning that softness is not weakness, that your inner child is not a distraction from your mission. It's actually the key to it. This trine is helping you to rewrite the story of your emotional foundation from one of survival to one of sacred safety. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon is first to release what you've outgrown, even if it once felt like protection. The armor you built in the past is too heavy for the next version of you. Next is to audit your relationship with receiving. Where do you deflect support, love, or money because part of you feels you must earn it first? Next is to redefine what wealth means to you, not just financially, but emotionally. What actually makes you feel rich in your body and spirit? And finally, let yourself grieve the self you had to become to survive. Honor that part of you, thank them, and know that you're allowed to choose ease now. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, I am no longer loyal to pain. I open to love, power, and peace without apology or permission. Be sure to let me know how this Leo full moon energy is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you're ready to reconnect with who you were before the world told you who to be, my As Above, So Within astrology prompt journal will bring you back to yourself. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Aquarius rising. So, this full moon is lighting up your seventh house of relationships, contracts, and mirrors. It's not just about love, though, it's about power dynamics, unspoken expectations, and the energetic signatures you've been agreeing to without realizing it. This moon reflects where you've over accommodated, over explained, or stayed too long in connections that don't truly see you. This Leo full moon is asking, what does it mean to be fully witnessed without shapeshifting to stay loved? It's time to name your needs, to see the difference between compromise and self abandonment, and to stop shrinking to keep the peace. You're being called to step into your heart's full expression, with or without someone clapping for it. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: a massive opposition to all of the planets currently in Aquarius, and a trine to Chiron in Aries. So, opposite the full moon is a rare conjunction of Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and of course the Sun, all in your first house of identity, embodiment, and self concept. This is not a subtle shift, it's a complete energetic rebirth. Pluto is shedding the skins you no longer need, the personas you wore to survive. Mars is igniting your courage to live as your whole self, even if it disrupts old dynamics. Venus is calling you home to your natural magnetism, the version of you that attracts rather than performs. Mercury is reworking your inner script. Who are you when you speak from truth and not trauma? This is like a spiritual homecoming. You're no longer here to compromise your authenticity for connection. You're here to magnetize what mirrors your highest self. Now, Chiron's trine from your third house of communication, mindset, and voice offers powerful integration. This is about healing the fear of being misunderstood, the wound of saying too much or not enough, the ache of not having the words when you needed them most. Now your voice becomes your medicine. Your words hold power. This trine is helping you to speak your truth without burning out your nervous system. You don't have to shout to be heard. You just have to honor your truth. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon energy is to dismantle the identity you built to be lovable. The real you is magnetic and doesn't need to over-explain to be chosen. Next is to rewrite the story of what relationship requires. You don't have to dim your light to keep someone else comfortable. Next is to use your voice like a tuning fork. What feels resonant stays. What feels forced, fractured, or performative gets cleared. And finally, release the guilt of outgrowing old mirrors. If the reflection isn't accurate, you're allowed to walk away. No explanation needed. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, I am no longer available for watered down love. I am becoming someone my soul fully recognizes. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, if this lit you up, be sure to hit like, hype this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you're ready to reconnect with who you were before the world told you who to be, my As Above, So Within astrology prompt journal will bring you back to yourself. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching. Pisces rising. So, this Leo full moon lands in your sixth house of work, wellness, and daily rhythm. But don't mistake this for something mundane. This is a soul level detox. This is the time to ask yourself, where have your routines become rituals of self neglect instead of self devotion? This lunation exposes the places you've been performing productivity while emotionally depleted, or sacrificing your body for someone else's structure. You're being asked, what does it look like to honor your energy like a temple? This is your moment to choose radiant health, mentally, spiritually, and physically, to cleanse your schedule of people pleasing, and remember that your worth is not in what you do, but in who you are becoming. Now, this full moon is making two major aspects: a massive opposition to all of the planets currently in Aquarius, and a trine to Chiron in Aries. So, across from this moon is a rare conjunction of Pluto, Mars, Venus, Mercury, and of course the Sun, all in your 12th house of the subconscious, karma, spiritual endings, and the unseen. This is an energetic reckoning, a cosmic exorcism of outdated patterns. Pluto is surfacing buried karmic scripts and self sabotaging loops. Mars is cutting the cords to guilt, martyrdom, and unconscious obligation. Venus is inviting you to find beauty in solitude and the mystery of your becoming. And Mercury is rewiring your inner narrative. Your private thoughts are being purified. This is a moment to surrender. Let what is dying die. You are not meant to carry it all anymore. There is power in letting go without needing to understand every detail. Now, Chiron in Aries is trining this full moon from your second house of self worth, values, and resources, bringing a healing balm to the part of you that feels unsafe unless you're overgiving or overworking. This is a reclamation of value, a deep soul reminder that you do not need to earn your rest and you do not need to justify your enoughness. This transit opens the space to build a new relationship with your body, your work, and your energy, one that is rooted in reverence and not resentment. Now, some of the best ways for you to work with this Leo full moon energy is first to simplify your sacred. Clear out what drains your spirit. Turn your to-do list into a temple, not a trap. Next is to let your nervous system lead. If your body whispers, "No more," trust that as divine instruction. Next is to release invisible labor. If they can't see what you're carrying, they're not meant to be in your energy field. And finally, build routines around your becoming. Choose practices that feel like devotion, not punishment. A great affirmation for you during this Leo full moon is, I no longer sacrifice my soul to feel safe. I choose peace over performance. Be sure to let me know how the energy of this Leo full moon is showing up for you in the comments below. And of course, give this video a thumbs up, Hype this video, pass it along to your friends, and subscribe so you never miss the next download. And if you need to remember that you are the prize, be sure to grab my Venus Activation Journal. It's designed to rewire how you love yourself and what you expect in relationships. All of my offerings are linked in the description box below, so be sure to check them out. I appreciate you, and thanks so much for watching.